Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of What If Naruto Got His Powers from a Dying God. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, stay tuned for their what ifs coming your way over Anime King 3 and Anime King. If you're new, yes, you heard that correctly. I indeed have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Links will be down in the description for you guys to go ahead and check it out yourself. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last part that we left off, Kushina was 8 months pregnant, as she had students, all of them that she taught in the past, as she was now pregnant with her child. Seeing that she had slowed down a bit on her ninja career, she made them promise that if anything should happen to her or Minato, that they would help her to her son Naruto. These girls were Kurenai, Hana, Anko, and Yujiro. Unfortunately, Kushina and Minato died when Ninetales was set free on the village. As Naruto grew up, the people of the village turned their hate towards him because he represented something that they lost: their family, their friends that night. The girls equally met him at an age growing up, as they became his guardians. As people of the village knew that, but that couldn't stop them from when they were away, as they tried to find openings to attack Naruto. He was running as he fell. Well, the ground broke open as a manhole, literally ripped as he fell down into it. As Naruto was crawling away, as he was hurt, that is when he met a man sitting on a throne. The man called himself the Duke, as he seemed to be dying, judging from his body and the state that he was in, as he told Naruto to come to him. He could give him something to make him no longer in this weak, pathetic state. He could give him something that would change him forever. And so with that, Naruto made his way towards the man, as he couldn't help himself as he drank what the man gave him. As a painful surge coursed through his veins, it felt like hot molten lava burning his body, as he was reborn into a different being entirely. Emerging on the surface, Naruto was deadly. He attacked the forces that attacked him, as he ripped them apart, gaining their experience from their blood, as he basically became a supernatural vampire, with powers that could rival anyone, even the Kages. Eventually his body wore out from the sudden change, but he was done. The girls found him as they rushed into the hospital, as Hiruzen arrived. As Naruto told them what happened, the group looked over him, as Hiruzen was surprised by these changes and surprised to hear that Naruto found someone like that under the village. Well, at least he was okay. Just like that, 10 years passed, as Naruto became 16 years old. Tall, powerful, as Hiruzen gave him the go-ahead as Naruto turned all the girls. Their power was magnified as they turned, but they had a job to do as Naruto set them loose on Danzo and his forces. Realizing that, Hiruzen finally came after him. Danzo tried to fight back, but he was completely underestimating Naruto to begin with. But after removing the blonde's arm and slicing him, Naruto's regeneration proved to be too much for the man, as Naruto ended up ripping the eye of Shisui out, as he got the Konoha Sakami by absorbing it. The fox would not allow him to be controlled as the genjutsu was broke quickly on him, as Naruto took down to life. The girls had to remain at the apartment for about 2 weeks, as their body need to come under control. They need to be able to control their urges and their new rage that came with it, the power. So for the time being, Genma would be the sensei of Team 8 for Kunai, as Naruto was placed on Team 7, but not because he needed to be a genin. After all, he was already a chunin. It was because he was to watch over Sasuke, him being the last Uchiha in the village, and not to mention Hinata, who has become quite just like her father. Sasuke had scoffed when he saw that Naruto was a chunin when they met up with Kakashi. If the dope could do it, that meant anyone could. But Naruto chose to ignore him, as it would be a waste to get into a petty fight with Uchiha. Hinata looked towards him, as she asked him about his change. He said that he couldn't remain the same forever, as he told her he had to be somewhere as he made his way off. But as she watched him leave, she looked at him as she watched him vanish, as she said a few words, that he was supposed to be her tool. Her father's lessons, and all the strict Hyuga teaching had been branded into her, as she was nothing but a stuck-up Hyuga like all of them, intended to make her clan powerful and become the #1 no matter what. And it seems like having Naruto as her tool will be great in doing so. So yeah guys, that's basically what I thought you guys can switch across the PlayStation for yourself. So this is the beginning of this new episode. We begin this episode at the Inazaka compound as Tasume looked at the son of her best friend and the master of her daughter. How is Hana, she asks, as she had a cup in her hand with vodka that Naruto provided. She watches the blonde girl put down. Hana is good, he said. She's able to be around the triplets with no issue. That's good. So becoming like you is agreeable to her, said Tasume as Naruto reached into his cargo pocket and pulled out a scroll as he tossed it towards her. That is a marriage contract. I bet Gramps will announce my heritage pretty soon. So that is a preemptive move, said Naruto. As Tasume opened the scroll, it was already signed by Hana and Naruto. Well, it looks like I'll have to name Kiba as the heir of the clan. As he muttered a sorry, but she simply laughed. Don't worry about it, pup, she said. Hana always idolizes Kushina, and having her married to her son forever linked me to my best friend, said Tasume. I wish I would have grown up with her, said Naruto. As Tasume chuckled a bit, Kushina would have killed anyone that harms you. As she started to tell Naruto a few stories about Kushina in their younger days. As they were talking, Kiba came home with Akamaru as he looked quite upset. What the hell are you doing here, he said, seeing Naruto. As Naruto glanced towards him. Nothing, Dogbert, he said. I'm interested in Ninken. As Kiba growled towards Naruto, but Tasume interjected. How was your team assignment, pup, she asked. I'm stuck on a team with Sasuke #1 fangirl, and Shino. Our sensei is a guy named Genma, but he's only temporary. Seeing that our real sensei is sick, said Kiba. So she doesn't drain you dry, Tasume thought to herself, as she knew what was going on. Well, I should be going, Lady Tasume, said Naruto. She nodded towards the blonde who walked past Kiba, as he made his way towards the Forest of Death. Arriving there, he turned as he caught something that slammed right into him. It was a small fox. She has grey and black fur, with a bit of white on the tip of her tail. Hello, Suki, said Naruto, as the fox yipped. Naruto pulled a scroll from his pocket as he unsealed some beef jerky for her. She yipped a few more times, as 3 small fox kids appeared from the forest, along with a male fox. Oh, you're a mama now, said Naruto. Congratulations. The 4 new fox were wary about coming to Naruto and approaching him. But, as the female fox turned towards them, they seemed to relax a bit. As the fox seemed to sniff Naruto, as they seemed to relax. They must smell me on you, said Kurama. As Naruto looked towards the male. You guys are gonna need names, he said. How about Yoshi, for starters? As the male fox yipped. As Naruto turned towards the kids. How about Hano for fire? Kori for ice, and Saki for earth. Suki yipped and licked his cheek as Naruto laughed. As Naruto played with the fox family. Until they soon ran off, as Naruto looked up to see Hiruzen in the tree looking down at him. As he landed beside the blonde. Thanks, said Naruto. If people knew that foxes still live here. I know, said Hiruzen. So, when were you gonna tell me that some of roots still exists? Asked Hiruzen. As he started to light up his pipe, Naruto got to his feet and dusted off his clothing. We can use them. They're loyal to me, with cheese to his eye. They can do things that normal envoys cannot. As Hiruzen knew that Naruto was right. Alright, he said. But I want to see them face to face. How was your team placement, he asked. Kakashi chose to forego the genin exam, said Naruto. Understandable. The bell test doesn't work with only 2, said Hiruzen. Sasuke is arrogant. He believed that if I can become a chunin, then anyone can. Hinata is guarded, and she sees me as her tool. Sasuke will rue that statement. And Hinata's thoughts are worrying. Hayashi has not been the ideal father, but for her to see you as her tool, said Hiruzen. She may know my status and see me as a means to oust her father, or a bid to her freedom, said Naruto. Keep a watch on her. Now, I will call a council meeting in 2 weeks, but only for the shinobi half. Your evidence will allow me to purge the civilian portion as well. I will have my queens ready. Will you announce things to the village, said Naruto. I will do it for chunin exams. Also, Jiraiya will be coming as well. As Naruto frowned, he's in for a rude awakening. Regardless, what will you have me do? I can't really participate, said Naruto. As Hiruzen looked up to the sky, I have a plan, but I'll need to confirm some things first. As Naruto nodded, the man then vanished in a sunshine. Clever old man, said Kurama. As Naruto vanished as well. The next day, Memorial Stone. As Kakashi was looking at the stone as usual until a voice suddenly spoke behind him. I thought you said 7, senpai. Meh, it's only 8. Where are your teammates, Kakashi asked. Training ground. I came here first because I dislike being awakened early, said Naruto. As Naruto raised his sunglasses to rub his eyes. So how will this work, Lord Third? Said I won't have to waste my time doing the ranks, said Naruto. Well, you will supervise them, or a clone. We will also be doing teamwork exercises as well. It will be a few months before they can do any serious mission, said Kakashi. That's fine. So how are things between you and Tenzo or Kino, or whatever she calls herself nowadays? Kakashi sputtered a bit with a wide eye. Nothing, he said. And she go by Yamato now. Why, he asked. I need to go see her about the Mokitan. I'm curious, so let's go, said Naruto. Kakashi raised eyebrow in his statement. Go ask Lord Third, said Naruto. As the group made their way towards the training ground, where the Hyuga and Uchiha was. Sorry I'm late, but Naruto came to find me, said Kakashi. Hinata rose to her feet as she dusted off her shorts. Naruto did say that you were notorious for being late. Her main outfit was a light lavender, sleeveless kimono style blouse that was tied with a dark purple OB, as she had fingerless, dark blue gloves, thigh-high stockings, and black high heels kunoichi boots. Kakashi gave them an eye smile. Before we take our first mission, I would like to do a friendly spar. You both will be facing Naruto. That way can gauge about your skill set. Now Hinata, can you use the Jayugen without your Byakugan? As she nodded. Alright Sasuke, said Kakashi, you will go first. Sasuke just nodded as he locked eyes with the blonde. Naruto removed his glasses as he put them away, as he rolled his neck, as his face went blank. Sasuke looked serious though as he launched several shurikens towards the blonde. As Naruto dodged to the right, Sasuke rushed as he appeared behind the blonde, swinging a spin kick. As Naruto blocked before he jumped back, Sasuke moved directly on him as he started to attack furiously. He has decent speed and quick maneuver, Kakashi thought to himself as he watched the spar. As Naruto blocked easily, as Sasuke started to get frustrated, Hinata narrowed her eyes. I wonder who taught him, she thought to herself, as she saw that Naruto was moving with grace and skills, barely making Sasuke even come close to grazing him. It seems like he was doing it on purpose, just to aggravate Sasuke. Sasuke flicked away from Naruto after missing for the 5th time. How is the dope this strong? As Sasuke speed through Hunt sign, let's see you block this. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Oi, this isn't a full contact spar, said Kakashi, shouting to Sasuke as the fireball hit Naruto. He's a chunin, is he not? He should be able to handle that, said Sasuke. As when the fire started to crackle, It showed that there was a lock inside. You're right, said Naruto, as he was behind Sasuke. Sasuke turned, but Naruto grabbed his wrist and flipped him over, before slamming him on the ground as he placed a foot on his back. Sasuke grumbled as he used the other hand to pull a kunai. That's enough, said Kakashi. I just wanted a look on your skill set, and I think that was more than enough. Hinata, you're next. As Naruto backed away as he faced the girl, she slipped into her family Jayuken. She edged forward, but Naruto was the one that stepped and threw a right hook towards her, but she moved her body to the left. She lashed out as Naruto blocked it, as he parried her attack. Impressive, Hinata, but you seem quite rigid in your stance, said Naruto to her. Her eyes narrowed at that comment as she released a barrage of strikes, chakra being splattered out with each attack, but she could not tell if his points were being close. How dare he look at me with those eyes, she thought, before she gasped as she felt her center of gravity changing as Naruto's foot knocked away hers, making her fall. She managed to stamp her foot back on the ground before a fist stopped right in her face, as Naruto stopped his fist from punching her. Yield, he said. That's enough, said Kakashi, as he stepped back on the field. I have enough. Hinata, you excel at your family fighting stance, but you're a bit rigid in your moves. Sasuke, you let your anger get the better of you. For now, we'll work on your shortcomings. Now, let's head to the mission hall, said Kakashi. I'll see you later, senpai, said Naruto as he vanished. Will you not be doing missions with us? Asked Hinata. Yes, but you won't be needed for the D ranks, said Kakashi, as the group made their way. As they arrived to see two Chunins, one of them being Aruka, and another one as Hiruzen was also there. Hi Team 7, here for your first mission. Yes, any particular mission, said Kakashi, as Aruka looks through them as he starts to list them off. The more he lists off, the more angry Sasuke gets at these damn chores. Where's Naruto, said Aruka, not seeing the blonde. On another mission, I have authorized him not to date D ranks. He's handling a few other things for me, said Hiruzen. Time skip, force of death, as Naruto landed in a clearing, as a female envoy landed with a tiger mask. Thanks for meeting me. So what should I call you now, said Naruto. She reached up and removed her mask, showing a roundish face, with brown hair and auburn eyes. I'm going by Yamato now, she said. Right, Yamato. Did Lord Third explain things, Naruto asked. He did. Thanks to your bloodline, you acquire the Monkey-Don from Danzo and the Sharingan, said Yamato. As Naruto nodded as he closed his right eye. When he opened it, Sharingan appeared, but it was blue. As Yamato raised eyebrow at that. Why is it blue? My bloodline assimilated to my body, said Naruto, as she cuffed her chin in thought. Well, alright, I can use the jutsu, and your Sharingan should be able to copy it, she said, as she started to perform several hand signs, stopping on the snake hand sign, wood style. As Naruto watched as she created several wooden snakes from her arm. As Naruto did the same thing but his tree bark. It was black. Interesting, he said. Indeed, said Yamato, as she started on several other jutsus. Naruto learned how to use a wood locking wall, wood clone, 4-pillar prison, and the tree binding flourish, and the burial, roots, and the nativity of the sea of trees. It doesn't compare to the first Hokage, said Yamato. Well, I doubt anyone could, said Naruto. So, how are things with Kakashi, Naruto asked. She gave him a look. You know you could even scare Madara Uchiha with that face. Then do not ask things that do not concern you, she said to him, as Naruto raised his hand. In surrender. Right, Tiger Senpai, he said. It would be best if you did not reveal your additions to the general public. It could cause a disaster, said Yamato, as Naruto nodded. Indeed, if any of the more unscrupulous members of the council learn that I, or my brides possess the ability to gain bloodline, it could reach certain ears. She slipped back her tiger mask on. I would agree. See me in a month for testing. With that, she was gone as sunshine. As Naruto pushed up his glasses, and they shift into an envu mask, as he secured it on his face. It is not wise to spy on people, he said, as someone was behind the tree. Ash, gray hair, onyx eyes. I apologize. I was searching for herbs. Cut the crap, Kabuto. I know who you are. You've been watching the entire thing. My senses are inhuman, said Naruto, as Kabuto adjusted his glasses. As Naruto vanished as he flashed behind Kabuto. I have done so memories. And I know about your secret dealings with a certain snake. As Kabuto freezes at that, tell him everything. Uncle and I will enjoy ripping his soul apart. Now, run along, little spy, as Naruto burst into a colony of bats before they flew off. Sweat ran down Kabuto's face as he watched the bats vanish. This complicates things. 2 weeks later, Harrison sat, pipe in his mouth as he looked at the council that was gathered, which was included Shikaku, Choza, Inuichi, Tsume, Hayashi, Homura, Koharu, as the Envoy commander arrived, known as Dragon, wearing the standard uniform, but a black hood that show a bit of white hair. I have called this meeting in order to discuss certain matters, said Hiruzen. And what matters would that be? Hokage-sama, said Inuichi. Vampire has found evidence that Danzo was a traitor. Was? Said Choza. Vampire has executed him, and nearly all of his remaining members of Root. What members remain have sworn loyalty to him and myself, Hiruzen said. This is disconcerting. Danzo has always been a hardliner, but to betray the village that he loves, said Shikaku. True, but Danzo chose to betray Konoha in a misguided attempt to obtain Hokage's seat, and with that he paid for his life. So will his co-conspirators once they're rooted out, said Hiruzen, as he cleared his throat. The next piece of business concerned Vampire, or as you all know him, Naruto Uzumaki. As he snapped his finger, the door opened as Naruto stepped inside. Once the Chunin exam's final begins, I will reveal Naruto's true heritage. Too long has this village discouraged his parents' sacrifice. I have caved to pressures for years now, but no longer, said Hiruzen. Revealing his heritage could cause civil unrest, perhaps easing out this information. Our enemies could use this to paint Konoha in a bad light, said Koharu. Then let them. Konoha is not the same place my parents died for. You people and ninjas have grown lazy, and you need a wake-up call, said Naruto, as Homura shot him a look. I hate to say it, but he's right. Minato wanted his son to be seen as a hero, and we all cowered down to fear, lying to ourselves, allowing the son of our fourth Hokage to be treated as something not human, said Inuichi, as both Homura and Koharu wanted to rebuke those words, but without Danzo to back them they could not. Will the CRA be used on him? Hayashi asked. Naruto snapped his fingers as the door opened once again, and in came Uncle, Hana, Kurenai, and Yujiro. Shikaku was the first to notice that their skin were pale, and they had this glint in their eyes. You pass your bloodline to all of them, he asked. Indeed I did. These four made a promise to my mother, and agreed to become my mates and wives, said Naruto. That count as 4 out of 6, said Naruto. That is right. Lady Kushina acts as a protector son. So we did, and now where's wife? Mine, Uncle said as her eyes glow purple. Body, said Hana as her eyes glow as well. And soul, said Kurenai and Yujiro, their eyes both glowing. It seems they answer your question, Hayashi-sama, said Dragon. Yes, said Hiruzen. Naruto is betrothed to the 4 of them, and he will be taking his seat on the Shinobi Council. We can't agree to that. He does not deserve to be on the council if you allow him. Then Sasuke-sama should be on the council as well, said Koharu. Sasuke, who's a wet behind the ears genin. While I'm an unfull captain, and I have 4 wives, said Naruto. One of my best, said Dragon. Regardless of your feelings on the matter, Naruto is now a member of the council. Now what is said in this room must stay in this room. If this leak, I will send Naruto and his Ice Queens after you, personally. As the 5 of them smile, the smile looking rather creepy, to get their point across, Hiruzen dismissed the council afterwards, as he tossed a photo towards Naruto. It was a girl with red hair and red eyes. Her name is Karin, said Hiruzen. She is living in the grass, and she's a Uzumaki, Hiruzen said. As Naruto's eyes widened at that, I needed to confirm this information. She's currently a civilian, but the grass is going to attempt to draft her as a kunoichi. If that happens, Kurenai said. Yes, I'm sending Naruto as the head of the Uzumaki clan to take claim over her, said Hiruzen. Is she the only one, Naruto asked. From the information, she had a mother, but she passed away a few years ago. And it's quite concerning. I need you to leave immediately. time is of the essence. The grass will not let her go if she becomes a ninja. Despite being allies, if the grass try to rebuke, give them their seriousness as he pushed a scroll to the blonde. As Naruto clothing shift towards his ninja clothing. On your orders, Hokage-sama, he said. And with that he moved out. Time skip. The hidden grass. As Naruto was perched outside the village of the hidden grass. As he was up in a tree. His Onto mask on, and a telescope to his visible eye. Over the past few weeks, he had spent time observing his fellow Uzumaki and killing bandits. Karin lived in a southern portion of the village. It took all of his willpower not to raze this village down to the ground. As he watched, grass ninjas took her out of her home and returned her late in the night in an exhausted state, as he had sent clones in disguise. She would be taken to the hospital, and they would use her unique skills. The doctors were lazy, as they had Karin to be used as a tool. You know, the old monkey is doing this to keep you in the village, the Kyuubi said, as Naruto tracked his telescope, as it vanished under his vest. I know that, he said. He knows if he dies or steps down and the new Hokage is not cordial to me, I will vanish. So he's trying to keep me rooted by retrieving Karin, Naruto thought. As Naruto jumped down from the tree as he made his way. Halt! A rough voice said to him. I am here on behalf of Konoha. I need to speak to your leader. The large man with dark hair looked down towards Naruto. As he scoffed. You're here with no word. Beat it, kid. Either tell your leader I'm here or risk losing our alliance, said Naruto, as he released some of his killer intent to get his point across. The guard gulped as he allowed Naruto to enter the village. As Naruto sensed several ninjas watching him, people gave him a wide berth as he made his way towards the tower in the center, small, compared to Hokage's tower. As Naruto was stopped, you're trespassing in the grass, kid, Amanda Spear said in front of the tower. As Naruto lifted his glasses, I am here, as an ambassador of the leaf, said Naruto. The guard motioned for Naruto to follow him. So Konoha sends children as your ambassadors now. I am old enough, said Naruto, as the man scoffed as he opened the door. Sosue-sama, it's some ambassador from Konoha. Sosue is a fair-skinned man with black hair, combed back that reached his shoulders, grey pupilless eyes, dark clothing, as it had grey outlines running down it. Black pants, a white rope tied around his waist, black socks, and black sandals. What does the great Konoha want, Sosue said, as Naruto reached into his vest and tossed the scroll on the table with the evidence. The grass is holding a member of the Uzumaki clan, and I, on behalf of the Uzumakis and Konoha, have come here to substantiate rumors of her mistreatment, said Naruto. That is absurd. Guards, arrest this brat. He's trespassing. Konoha will pay dearly for this affront, Sosue said, as Naruto released his bloodlust, as the guard froze where he was. Absurd. Living conditions, mistreatment, and abduction by your shinobis. So I, Naruto Uzumaki, has come to take her from your custody into mine. And if you deny this claim, said Naruto as he pulled the scroll, the one that Hiruzen gave him, as he tossed it to the man who caught it. The man looked down at the scroll as he opened it. He gritted his teeth when he saw. Go get the Uzumaki, he said to the guard, who bowed and left. As he snapped his gaze back towards Naruto, how dare Konoha threaten the grass? How dare the grass treat a member of my clan in such a manner, said Naruto. Before Sosue could retort, the guard returned back with Karin, who was looking both angry and afraid. You sent for me, Sosue-sama, she said, as she then saw Naruto. As Naruto turned towards her and gave her a small bow. Hello, Karin. I am Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm here to take you into Konoha custody, he said to her. Why, I haven't committed a crime, she said, as Naruto snapped his gaze towards the man before turning back to her. No, you have not, he said, but Konoha has learned of your mistreatment, and I, as the head of the Uzumaki clan, has come to take you into custody, said Naruto. But I'm a citizen of the grass. Be that as it may, Sosue has more than enough evidence of your treatment, and if he knows what is good for him, he will release you into my care, and the remains of your mother as well, said Naruto. Karin shot Sosue a dirty look. They burned my mom, she said. I have her ashes at my home. If you're done talking, Take her and get out of my village, said Sasuke, as he slammed his fist on the decks. As Naruto glanced towards the man, before he turned back to Karin, let's get your belongings, he said, as he was keenly aware of the small snake that was hiding under Sasuke's decks. At the unknown location, the dreaded snake saw him sit on his throne, as his snake had this spell, with a message. So Naruto has come to claim his kinsman, Orochimaru said. Fetch me Goring, as a minion rushed off. A minute or so passed as Goring returned. You sent for me, Orochimaru-sama, she said. Yes, I did, Goring. I have a mission for you. You are to head to the grass border and intercept 2 people. I want them both alive. They're both viable test subjects. Goring bowed her head as Orochimaru rise and handed her 2 photos. Their names are Naruto and Karin Uzumaki. The former is a Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Whatever you do, do not underestimate him. I will not, Orochimaru-sama. As she made her way, Orochimaru sat back on his throne as one of his snakes arrived with another scroll. As he took the scroll, by the end of reading it, he could only cackle in anger and gleefulness. Naruto-kun, you have so many secrets. It seems I sent poor Goring to her death, Orochimaru said to no one, as he got up and moved to a room to see. A shinobi is being trained for the upcoming invasion by the Sound 4. He went towards the other room to see Kimimaro on the table, as there was several things strapped on him. Kimimaro, it seems I will need you soon. If what Kabuto said is true, yes, you will definitely be needed. Time skip. As the group was making their way towards the fire country border, will the Hokage want me to be a ninja? Karin asks. If that is your choice, do you want to become a ninja? Naruto asks. She adjusts her glasses. I don't know, but I want to be able to defend myself, she told him. You can become a medical ninja, he said to her. As she nodded, before she narrowed her eyes, Naruto, I sense several people following us. I know, said Naruto, as a clone appeared without any smoke. Get on his back, he will take you to the border. I will catch up, said Naruto. She nodded as she got on his back. The clone vanished with her, as several masked shinobis appeared around Naruto. The grass was very foolish to sing. People after Karin did Sasuke assume I was merely a chunin, said Naruto, as his glasses shift to his Anvu mask, as his eyes started to glow. A little advice. When faced with an enemy of overwhelming strength, breathe as one. Link your breathing, your mind, your body and soul. Then come together and attack as one, said Naruto as he pulled a small chokito. The Anvus all leap at him to pierce him from all sides. Wing style, said Naruto as he swung his blade. Blood and body parts rained from the heavens as the blood came down on his mask. Do that and you may survive, said Naruto as his glasses returned back on his face. As Naruto looked down before he vanished, crystals instantly erupt where he once stood. Are you from the grass? The voice of Naruto echoed around as Gorin rose to her feet. Where is the girl? She said, as Naruto dropped down a few feet in front of her without his mask on. No, it seems not, he said. The snake. Gorin glared at him as she flashed the hand sign. Shoton, she shouted, as she threw several crystal shurikens towards him, as Naruto twists as he destroyed all of them with his chokito. She flashed 2 more hand signs and shouted Shoton, as she created crystal blades in her forearms and rushed towards Naruto. The both of them engaged as Naruto shattered one of the blades. She twists but he ducked as he moved his hand. Her cheek was sliced as she jumped away from him. How dare you cut my face, she said, as she watched as he licked some of the blood from the blade. She flashed 2 more hands and she created a massive crystal dragon as it rushed towards Naruto. Wing style. As the wing shattered the dragon, but it was not done as several cuts ripped into her flesh. She staggered back as Naruto flashed in front of her. The last thing she saw was his blue Sharingan as she fell unconscious. A rare bloodline, said Naruto. I think I'll keep her a secret for now, he said, as he pulled a scroll from his pocket. As he sealed her in a prison, stays his scroll, as he vanished afterwards. Time skip. 2 days later, Karin stood next to Naruto, as Naruto explained things to the third. The grass will more than likely put me in their bingo book. As Harrison leaned back in his chair, his pipe in his mouth, it was bound to happen. Unofficially, vampires in there. But you will now be in there officially. Regardless, your mission was a success, he said, as he gazed towards Karin. Now Karin-chan, do you wish to become a civilian, or shinobi of Konoha? She shifted her feet in thought. Can I think about Hokage-sama, she asked, as he gave her a grandfatherly smile, as he nodded. For now, you will be living with Naruto-kun unless you wish for a place of your own. She can have one of my apartments, they're pretty big, and have all the essentials, said Naruto. You own your own apartment, said Karin, as Hiruzen chuckled. He owns the whole complex, up until 3 years ago. Naruto-kun has not have the best life, Hiruzen said. His tone sounded a bit somber at the end. Naruto told me about things, Karin said, as Hiruzen shot Naruto a look. Alright, you two are both excused, said Hiruzen, as they nodded as they left. So, the sun really isn't a problem for you, Karin asked. I can take it, but it's annoying, said Naruto. If I didn't have to babysit my team, I would sleep till the afternoon. The pair reach his complex as they arrive, making their way up towards the top floor. Looks like no one is up, said Naruto as he took off his boots. She took off her sandals and took a seat on the recliner. The apartments down below have the same setup with 2 bedrooms, full bathrooms and kitchen. They are below the dojo and pool floors. Both floors are also soundproof with seals, said Naruto, as he sat on the sofa. The pair started to make small talk as Naruto told her about his younger days, as Karin did the same. When did you get back, Naruto? Kurenai said as she yawned, as she was only wearing a t-shirt that covered her. As Karin looked at the woman, not too long ago, and this is Karin. Sorry about the clothes, Karin. I'm Kurenai UI, she said, as she shook her hand. Nice to meet you, said Karin. We didn't wake you guys up. Kurenai waved her hand. Not at all. Our rooms are sound and sunproof. So you know what we are, said Kurenai as she looked towards the blonde. Naruto told me some things. He wanted me to be prepared. As Kurenai slowly nodded as Karin blushes. You're not naked under that, are you? As she lifted the shirt to show a short pair of jean shorts and a red bra. I have my modesty. Now Anko and Hana on the other hand. Naruto got to his feet. Can you show Karin to one of the lower apartments, he said. I need to take care of something. We're having dinner at 6 too. You can meet the others, said Naruto. And with that he vanished in a Shanshin. Time skip. Goring woke up. As she looked around frantically. Where the hell am I, she said as she was in a cell. Ah, finally awake. She gritted her teeth as she saw Naruto standing there, his hands fully behind his back, as she called upon her chakra but she found she couldn't use it. Don't bother. I've sealed away your chakra, said Naruto, as he slipped a lollipop into his mouth. Let me out, you bastard. Do you know who I am? She shouted at him. One of Orochimaru's pets. You should be grateful I kept you alive. I could have drained you dry and enslaved your soul as one of my familiars, said Naruto, as Goring hit that. Oh, so you were sent in blind, meaning that Kabuto didn't get to tell Orochimaru everything about me, said Naruto, as Naruto opened his mouth to show a row of sharp teeth to her. What stands before you is Naruto Uzumaki, but also known as Vampire, but most importantly, No Life Duke, said Naruto. Orochimaru-sama will come for me and dissect you, you monster, she shouted at him. Shadows cover his face to show his blue eyes and a wide smile. Oh, keep on telling yourself that. For now you will be fed and clean. You have enough chakra to function, said Naruto, as he started to walk away. Before he paused, oh, try to escape and your heart will explode. And I'll just eat your corpse, he said, as he laughed and walked away. As he was walking through the remains of Root HQ, he stopped as Sai appeared in front of him. Make sure she stays alive. I would hate to lose her, said Naruto. Yes, Naruto-sama, said Sai. Anything of note, Naruto asked. Yes. Hanzo, of the Salamander no longer, ruled the Hidden Rain. As Naruto narrowed his eyes, making Sai continue. We would have sent operatives of the village. The rain is laced with chakra. We would have been discovered. You did a good job, said Naruto. I also need a detail on Homura and Koharu. Sooner or later they will dare. As Sai nodded, as Naruto vanished. As Naruto reappeared in the village for a casual walk until dinner. Where have you been, Naruto? A voice screeched at him. As Naruto paused as he turned to see Sakura and Ino. Why, he said, looked at her blankly. Because you're on Sasuke-kun team. Don't you two hate each other, said Naruto, as he pointed in between them. Don't change the subject, Sasuke-kun cannot take higher mission without his full team, said Ino. He won't until Senpai believes that he's ready. He's only been at Jenny for a short amount of time. At least a few more months, said Naruto. But Sasuke need to avenge his clan, said Sakura. Itachi murdered his clan when he was younger. Then Sasuke right now. You think that he can win against him without his precious Sharingan, said Naruto. As that made the both of them angry. What do you know? You're nothing but a clueless orphan, said Ino. As Naruto chuckled, as he laughed. Actually, I'm not. I'm from the Uzumaki clan. Have you ever noticed the red spirals on the back of the Chunin and Jonin vests? They were that in honor of my deceased clan. So I guess I'm not that much different from Sasuke, he said. Then why did no one know Ino asked? My parents were famous ninjas. Gramps thought I could handle the news. And up until 3 years ago, I would have agreed with him, said Naruto. That still does not change the fact that you're weaker than Sasuke-kun. Sakura snapped at him. For someone so smart, you're really stupid, said Naruto. I am a Chunin. I busted my ass for 3 years to get this far. I'm sure that your sensei can tell you how hard it is. And you should also know something, you two fussing over Sasuke will not work. What? Both girls said. Sasuke doesn't like weak women. And you can get where I'm going with this, said Naruto. And I'm getting quite annoyed of talking to the both of you. And with that, he flashed away. As Naruto arrived back to his apartment, well, that ruined my walk, he said, as he found Karin talking to the girls. Luckily, both Hana and Uncle were presentable. So what do you guys want for dinner? No dongo, he said before Uncle could say anything. Whatever you think is quick, said Kurenai, as Naruto nodded. So, did you find the apartment to your liking? She nodded. Yeah, and thank Kami they're furnished. But I'll need to do some shopping, she said. I can take you, said Kurenai, as Karin nodded. Karin told us that Grass sent. Ninjas after you, said Hana. Yes, said Naruto. Several envelopes, but they fail. The Grass. We'll probably put them in their bingo book officially. Sucks that you won't be in the shooting exams, Uncle said. Oh well. I'm sure Gramps will find me something to do, said Naruto. Time skip. 2 weeks later. Well, mildly cute Jennings. Since Hinata and Sasuke has done well with their tree walking, we'll take a simple C rank mission, said Kakashi. Are you sure that it's wise, senpai? They've been Jenning for only a month or so, said Naruto. As Naruto was wearing a white shirt with a black jacket over it, black pants, as he was wearing a scarf around his neck that could be pulled up to cover his mouth. I think they are, besides. They have both of us. As they made their way towards the mission hall. Ah, Team 7, another D rank mission, Pearson said. But Kakashi shook his head. No, Hokage-san, we're here for a C rank. Aruka was about to say something, but Harrison raised his hand. Well, we did have one come in. Aruka, go and fetch Tezuna. As Aruka reluctantly nodded, listening to his Hokage. A few minutes later, he came back with an older looking man. Is this a team that will escort me back to Nami? Asked Tezuna. As Kakashi nodded as he read over the mission report. This will be an escort mission, he said. Pack for an extended mission and meet at the main gate. As the group made their way off. So, how are they doing, Harrison asked. Sasuke is getting the hang of tree walking, along with Hinata starting out with water walking. However, Sasuke is getting very frustrated when it comes to Naruto. Harrison sighs as he leaned back. I'm sure that Naruto is antagonizing Sasuke-kun, he said. The opposite, actually. Sasuke tried to go at Naruto several times, but it failed. And he's getting quite frustrated. I've been keeping him occupied with training, but it only works so much. And Hinata asked Harrison. She has expressed no focus in ninjutsu, but she's focused on Naruto a lot. Hokage-sama, I believe that she might know his secret, and not his paler features, said Kakashi. Harrison cuffed his chin in thought. Keep an eye on her, and inform Naruto about this as well. As Kakashi nodded, as he vanished away. Time skip, main gate. Hinata was the first to arrive with the client, as she had her backpack on. Over the past 2 weeks, she had been trying to unravel the mystery that was Naruto Uzumaki. He had saved her from bullies when they were children, but her clan was against her, associating with him. However, she often watched him, as he was quite just foolish. But everything changed when he vanished 3 years ago. Hey, what's up with your blonde teammate? He's real odd, said Tezuna, shaking her from her thoughts. She opened her eyes as she saw Naruto approaching. I do not know, Tezuna-san, she said. As he arrived with no backpack. You have no gear, she said, as he tapped his pants pocket. Seal away in storage scrolls. Better convenience. As she closed her eyes, I will need your power, Naruto. A power of a Jinjulki to unseat my father, as a clan head, she thought to herself. A few minutes passed as Sasuke arrived. 20 minutes later, Kakashi showed up. Alright team, this is the first mission outside the village. Keep your eyes open and your senses sharp. We should probably encounter a few bandits. So, prepare yourself. And with that they move off. The mood was quiet for a while, as there was nothing but their breathing that could be heard. I'll scout ahead, said Naruto. Don't be reckless, said Kakashi. As Naruto moved, the remains continued to walk at a leisurely pace. They kept up with Tazuna. Tazuna-san, why did you come all the way to Konoha for escort? Asked Hinata. Well, Nami doesn't have a shinobi village. I'm building a bridge to the mainland, so I came across the nearest one. The group watched as Naruto flashed in front of them. As they saw blood on his cheek, Naruto, said Kakashi. As Naruto glanced toward Tazuna, up ahead, there was an ambush. 2 missing ninjas from Karin, the demon brothers. Why would 2 missing ninjas be set in an ambush? As Kakashi turned his gaze toward Tazuna, who was already sweating, they were after him. They were hired by a man known as Gato. As Tazuna started to explain everything from Gato entering the wave, killing his son-in-law, and nearly collapsing the country. This break our mission parameters, said Kakashi as Tazuna was panicking. The fear of being abandoned on this mission that would probably have his head before he even reached close. However, between myself and Naruto, we should be able to survive. But I want your opinions as he turned towards Sasuke and Hinata. We should continue. I need to test my skills, Sasuke said. I agree, we should continue. But also call for backup, said Hinata. Alright, I'll send word to Hokage-sama. But this bumped the mission to at least A rank. Thank you all, said Tazuna. As Team 7 continues, Kakashi sent his dog back to Konoha. Time skip. It's hard to see, said Sasuke, as he moved through the thick mist. Nami is surrounded by the ocean. It created thick mist, said Tazuna. As Sasuke heard something as he tossed a kunai. But the rabbit jumped out. Both Naruto and Kakashi saw the fur of the rabbit. Everyone down! As Kakashi tackled Tazuna. As everyone dropped except for Naruto, who raised his feet and slammed it in the handle of the blade, kicking it away instead of dropping to the ground as it stabbed into a tree. As a man flashed on the hilt. Well, that was quite impressive for a Chunin to keep my blade like that, said Zabuza as he looked down towards Naruto, who casually looked at the man as well. And if it isn't the famous Copy Ninja Kakashi, well, do I get to see the famous Sharingan? Zabuza, the demon of the mist. As Kakashi lifted up his headband, Sasuke's eyes snapped towards the man. The Sharingan? But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want to see next parts, and do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, remember to stay tuned for the what is coming your way over Anime King and Anime King 3. Yes, that's right, I do have 3 channels. Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime King 3, which I post notifying every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, and yeah, I'm over now. See you guys soon, peace.